We run after our dreams for ages on this magnificent earth. We founded cities, states, and civilizations. This sumptuous environment, these mighty constructions that we build, customs and traditions that we inherited, are like veins flowing through our future where our history breathes. The heart of civilizations beats right here. In 1972, many countries coming from the various areas of the world came together to protect this heritage under the leadership of UNESCO. First of all, the experts determined the criteria to take into consideration in the selection of natural and cultural properties in different areas of the world. Cultural and natural properties that meet the criteria of outstanding universal value are inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Some of the World Heritage Sites are the Historic Center of Vienna, Historic Cairo, Bukhara and Samarkand cities, the Sydney Opera House, the Grand Canyon National Park, Old Area Bridge of the Old City of Mostar, Serengeti National Park, the Historic Center of Prague, the Palace and Park of Versailles, Alhambra Palace, and Westminster Palace Abbey. Settlements such as Diyarbakır, Çayönü, Urfa, Göbekli Tepe, and Konya Çatalhöyük are important centers of the early periods of human history in Turkey. There are significant natural and cultural heritage properties in this area, accommodating great civilizations such as Hittites, Phrygians, Lydians, Ionians, Urartians, Persians, the Roman and Byzantine empires, Seljuk and Ottoman empires. Turkey has been a state party to UNESCO Convention concerning the protection of the world cultural and natural heritage since 1983. Historical areas of Istanbul, inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List in 1985, is composed of 4 zones: the Archaeological Park, the Süleymaniye Mosque and its surrounding area, the Zeyrek Quarter, and Istanbul land walls. The Archaeological Park is located in the east of historic peninsula and important not only for the archaeological heritage, but also for its living, traditional urban pattern. Standing out with its extraordinary design, the Hagia Sophia was built in the 6th century, reached to the present as an architectural masterpiece. Mosaics of the Hagia Sophia, which are taken as the most important examples of Byzantine art, have a great importance in terms of the history of art of painting. The Hagia Sophia was maintained with the repairments throughout the Ottoman period, and some elements such as minarets, madrasa, soup kitchen, fountain, primary school, and muvakkitane was attached to the building later. The Hagia Sophia, symbol of the existence and strength of the state, serves as a museum since 1935. Topkapı Palace, which was built on the eastern end of the city, on the top of the hill overlooking the Golden Horn, Marmara, and Bosphorus, spreads on a large area in Suri Sultani, with its units shaping the classical palace traditions of Islamic architecture, and some parts added later in various periods. With its plain, authentic, impressive architectural style, Topkapı Palace was the headquarters of the Ottoman Empire from the 15th century until midway through the 19th century, which includes educational units such as Enderun and Harem, and private living spaces of Ottoman dynasty. Another monument in the area is Sultan Ahmet Social Complex. The mosque was built by Sedefkar Mehmet Ağa, who is a student of architect Sinan. The complex had been the only building with 6 minarets in Ottoman architecture. Since the mosque is decorated with blue, green, and white tiles and adorned with hand-drawn ornaments, it is called the Blue Mosque, especially in the Western reference books. The monument houses some 20,000 tiles, which is the richest tile collection of Ottoman art after the collection of Topkapı Palace. Ibrahim Pasha Palace is the only Grand Vizier palace from the Ottoman classical period. The palace now serves as the Museum of Turkish and Islamic Arts. It is one of the most important museums of Islamic arts, with some 1,500 carpets, 14,000 manuscripts, and very special wood carvings. The Basilica Cistern, which is used as a museum now, becomes prominent among the cisterns which are built in order to meet the water demand of the city's inhabitants. Sokolu Complex at Kadırga is an authentic and successful design of architect Sinan, located on an inclined land which is built for Grand Vizier Sokolu Mehmet Pasha in 1572. The Haseki Hürrem Sultan Hamam, which was built by architect Sinan across Hagia Sophia and restored by the General Dictorate of the Pious Foundation, is an exceptional example of Turkish bath architecture in terms of its design. Küçük Ayasofya Cami, Church of Saint Sergius and Bacchus, was built between 527 and 536 BC, is one of the most important architecture designs of its period. This area, having an urban texture mostly composed of timber constructions once upon a time, still includes some timber houses in the neighborhoods of Akbayuk and Cankurtaran. Famous composer of our music, Hamamizade İsmail Dede Efendi's house is also in this area. Süleymaniye Mosque Complex and its surrounding area, which is considered a masterpiece of creative human genius, is located on a hill overlooking the Golden Horn. The Süleymaniye Complex, which was described by its architect Sinan as a semi-mastership work, is the second largest complex and the greatest foundation in the Ottoman lands. The complex, which is an important element of the city's skyline, constitutes an important viewpoint with its location overlooking the Golden Horn, the Bosphorus, and Galata. The complex consists of a mosque in the center, tombs of Süleyman the Magnificent and Hürrem Sultan, a primary school, 4 madrasas, a madrasa of Darul Hadis, madrasa of medicine and hospital, imaret and tabhane, public bath and bazaars. The building is the peak for the Ottoman aesthetics in terms of both architectural design and technical success, and also in the sense of stone masonry, tiles, stained glass, and calligraphy. Şehzade Mehmet Complex, which architect Sinan demurely calls as a work of apprenticeship, is also in this area. The Şehzade Mosque sets out an architectural system which is rehandled in the constructions of the new mosque and Fatih Mosque later. This type of plan is appreciated very much as an architecture design, and many similar buildings are constructed in Ottoman lands. two libraries housing 1/6 of 600,000 manuscripts in Turkey are in the Süleymaniye Quarter. These are Süleymaniye Library and Istanbul University Library of Rare Books. The Valens Aqueduct, a monument belonging to the early Byzantine period, is an outstanding example of Roman water architecture. The Mosque of Kalandirhane and the Church Mosque of Vefa are also in this area, which was a very important settlement zone during the Byzantine period. Zeyrek Quarter is well known with its traditional vernacular architecture and the Pantocrator Church, which is called Molla Zeyrek Mosque today. The Zeyrek Mosque, being the center of the quarter, was built as a monastery in the 12th century. The Pantocrator Church was converted into a madrasa where the most famous scientists of the time gave lectures right after the conquest of Istanbul. After the construction of Fatih's complex, it came into use as a mosque. This area has an important accumulation in terms of Ottoman urban tissue. Vernacular housing in this area constitutes a source for the late Ottoman urban fabric. Istanbul land walls, bordering the peninsula on which the city is founded, consists of walls which keeps the peninsula apart from the rest of the land in the west, begins on the shores of the Marmara Sea and continues to the Golden Horn in the north and their surroundings. This area is composed of three main parts: wall structure, inner conservation site of land walls, and outer conservation site of land walls. Istanbul walls consisting of land and sea walls is one of the longest and best conserved walls in the world. Istanbul land walls, which is least damaged part remaining from the walls surrounding the city, is the most important memory of ancient and medieval age. Animus dungeons, which is a building group belonging to different periods, are considered as the part of the imperial palace. The building with its impressive indoor presents an interesting type of structure of Byzantine architecture. Palace of the Porphyrogenitus, known as Tekfur Palace, which is a Byzantine palace, maintaining its integrity till today, is adjacent to the walls in this area. Walls, and especially gates, are repaired on several occasions, and some parts were reconstructed during the Byzantine and Ottoman periods. Yedikule Fortress, an interior castle composed of walls and towers, added during the reign of Sultan Mehmet the Conqueror, is an important building witnessing important occasions in the Ottoman period. Located near Edirne Kapı, the monastery of Kora was built in the Byzantine period and then converted into a mosque in the Ottoman period. The building serves as Kariye Museum today, exhibiting the traces of Ottoman and Byzantine Empire. This monument is one of the buildings in which the Byzantine ornamentation was conserved in the best way and exhibits the most gorgeous examples of late Byzantine. Mihrimah Sultan Mosque is the second social complex built by Mimar Sinan, or Mihrimah Sultan, the daughter of Suleiman the Magnificent. There were some settlement activities outside the walls during the Ottoman period, although it was not as intense as inside the walls. Merkez Efendi Complex, Yeni Kapı Mevlevi Hanesi, Takyacı İbrahim Ağa Complex, Emin Baba Tekkesi, Hirami Ahmet Pasha Tekkesi are some of the important monuments built in the immediate surroundings of the walls. Except from the World Heritage Site, Historic Peninsula, which is a protected area as a whole, contains some 10,000 cultural assets, including Yavuz Selim Mosque Complex, Fatih Mosque Complex, the Grand Bazaar and its Hans, the New Mosque, Spice Bazaar, Rustam Pasha Mosque, Nur Osmaniye Mosque, Beyaz II Mosque Complex, Pertevni Al Valide Sultan Mosque, Laleli Mosque, Cerrah Mehmet Pasha Mosque, and Haseki Complex. The conservation of this heritage is an important mission of carrying history to the future. The coordination of management is carried out by Site Management Directorate, which was founded in 2006, according to the Istanbul Historic Peninsula Management Plan, which is made to conserve the cultural assets and World Heritage Site within its boundaries. Site Management Directorate conducts activities within the scope of conservation of cultural heritage, improvement of life quality, and promotion and presentation of the site. Istanbul Historic Peninsula Management Plan turns over a new leaf for Istanbul. Historic Peninsula Management Plan, approved in 2011, and in the implementation phase now, is an important step for the transmitting of the cultural and historical identity of Istanbul to the next generations by conserving it in the best possible way. Istanbul is our dream, our magical history. It is our fantasy. The boundaries of this city is equal to the boundaries of our heart, as the name of our passion is Istanbul. Our heritage, inherited from yesterday, transmitted to the tomorrow. Our history, our future, our memory, our soul. Istanbul is our culture, civilization, and heritage.